And let's look at this real quick, okay? So you got let's see, this is again, let's take the good old ABC triangle, okay? Guys, pay attention now. Pay attention. If you're solving your problem, hold off, watch what I'm doing, okay? You've got the recording and you can watch it later. The important thing is that you do the practice when I'm telling you to do it, and the other times you focus over here, okay? Right? That's the thing. That's why you come over here, you watch what I'm telling you, and it's going to go in your head much better, okay? So look, ABC, and I'm going to mark this as, what was it? Let's see, how did I do this over here? So I marked it as 4 over here, right? So let's see, it's 4 over here, and then what was it over here? This was kind of like 5 over here, right? So now, for those of you who saw the video last time, right? For those of you who saw the video last time, yesterday's video, you can try to solve another problem, right? All of my regular folks, right? All of my regular subscribers can look at this problem and try to solve this guy first, okay? And for those of you who are looking over here, try to find what is this side, okay, for ABC. So find out what is BC equal to, okay? And for those of you who are over here, like this is the harder problem, guys, this is the harder problem, right? If this were, this is 12 and this is 13, right? Find out what is sine of R. That should be easy for you. I think that should be very easy for you. And find out what is the cosine of R as well. Okay, find out what's the cosine of R. In other words, you need to find out what is this side and then find out the cosine of R. Yes, so great. People are solving these problems here, right? So 5, 4, 5. So what happens here, right? Let's call this like, let's say B or something, right? Or maybe you want to call it A. So A squared plus B squared, which is 4. So 4 squared is equal to 5 squared, right? Now it's simple. A squared plus 16 is equal to 25. And so you bring the 16 to the other side, negative 16. So that's 9. And so A squared is 9. So A squared is 9. And so A is equal to the square root of 9, which is 3. Okay, only the positive value. And so this becomes 3, right? So that's an important thing you need to learn. Okay, well done, Anika. Well done, Lekhan. Yes. I apologize so much if I mispronounce your names, okay? But I'll grow to pronouncing your names correctly, okay? So type over if you really want me to pronounce your names well, okay? But anyway, here we are in the math class, not an ELA class. So let's do sine of R, right? First of all, you need to understand this is the Pythagorean theorem, right? So this one you can just call it A. So A squared plus 12 squared is equal to 13 squared. Okay, A squared plus 12 squared is equal to 13 squared. Okay, so what do you do now? A squared plus 144 is 169. Okay, I told you this is an advanced problem. Okay, but don't worry about it. We're going to solve this. And then you subtract 144. So you get 169 minus 144, right? Now you can do this in your calculator. I'll just do it over here for now. It's A squared is equal to 25. So what number times itself is 25? That's the question, right? So A is equal to 5, okay? A is equal to 5 here. You're just going to put in 5, and then you know how to solve sine and cosine, right? Sine of this guy is, again, opposite, okay? Opposite over hypotenuse, right? This is something which people confuse. Opposite over hypotenuse is sine, okay? And then, so that's going to be 5 over 13, right? And cosine is going to be 12 over 13. Right? Now, here's an important property about sines and cosines, and let's look at it over here. The sine of C here, this angle, sine of C is equal to 4 over 5. I'm purposefully doing this again and again. And cosine of C is equal to 3 over 5. So the question for you guys is, what is sine of C squared plus cosine of C squared? Okay, sine of C squared plus cosine of C squared is how much? So try to calculate and tell me. Let me see who can calculate it the fastest. Careful, 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 careful. Let me give you a hint. If you get some weird fraction, it's slightly, you need to be careful. Sine of C squared, so square both the numerator and the denominator. Okay, what I mean by this is you're going to take 4 over 5 and you square it. What does this mean? Remember, this piece, I've got a lecture on this if you don't understand what this means, okay? This just means 4 squared over 5 squared. And do this guy as well, right? What do you get? 3 squared over 5 squared. Remember, in addition to doing trig, you're also doing arithmetic, right? You're doing arithmetic the way I'm teaching you. We're combining 3 or 4 things all at once, right? For a reason, right? Because the SAT tests you on these simple ideas as well. So that's what's going on. Okay, so watch what I'm doing here, right? So it's 16. So this guy is 16. Very good. Many of you have got it. 16 over 25 plus 9 over 25, right, is equal to 25 over 25, right, which is 1. Remember this massively important idea. Sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. Sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. All right. So sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. So let me tell you this now. Okay. This super interesting idea. You've got A, B, let's call it M, N, and O. Maybe let's call it I, J, K, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Let me call it I, J, K. Okay. Now, if you're given the K, right? If you're given the K, the sign of K is equal to a weird number, right? It's not a fraction. Is equal to, let's say, point, let's say 0.4. Okay. Let's say no, 0.8. Okay. Let's make it sine 8 is 0.8. So, and you asked what is the cosine of K? So try it, guys. What do you think is the cosine of K? Remember, you're always going to have this formula: sine of K squared plus cosine of K squared is equal to 1. That's it. So try to find out what is cosine of K, okay? Find out what's the cos of K. Remember, I'm not asking you for cosine squared K, I'm asking you for cosine of K. So sine of K squared plus cosine of K squared is equal to 1, right? So what are you gonna get? 0.8 squared plus cosine of K squared is equal to 1, right? Now try to calculate what is this. This guy is, yes, these numbers, you need to work on these numbers a little bit. Somebody's asking me, do I need to work on and calculate it? Yes, of course. Try this. That's why I'm here, to help you calculate these and tell you and guide you to solve exactly the problems that you need to work on, okay? Okay, sorry about that. This should be a square. My bad. I made the mistake here, right? So now cosine of K squared, guys, is 0.36. Now you can use your calculator to get cosine of K is equal to 0.6, okay? We got to move on. We've got 10 minutes, but I think, wow, amazing. A lot of you are getting value from this, I think, right? Remember, the number of topics that we've covered is vast, right? The number of topics. Oh, why is it 0.8 squared? Because sine of K is given to be 0.8. Sine of K is given to be 0.8 over here. And that's the formula. Remember, the formula is sine of any angle, right, squared plus cosine of the same angle squared is equal to 1. All right. This is okay. You got it. Perfect. Cool. So great. So where was I? Yes. Remember these formulas. Remember this practice session, right? It happens. The next one is going to be on Sunday. Okay. That's of course for my subscribers. This was just one-time free trial session for you, right? Yes. Some of the guys are saying, yes, you have to pay attention to detail. Exactly right. Pay attention to me and then pay attention to detail, right? You've got to pay attention to detail here because they love to grill you if you don't pay attention to detail, right? So I'm sure the first choice is going to be 0.36, right? But that is cosine K squared. In your multiple choice, guys, the first choice will probably be 0.36. So those of you who are not paying attention are going to put in 0.36, but actually you've got to take the square root of it. The answer is going to be 0.60. You got to take the square root of this guy. Don't forget it because cosine K squared is 0.36, okay? All right, so remember that. Well done. Well said, Tommy-san. All right, so let's move on now to this problem now. Now this one is also important, right? All of these problems I've chosen these problems because they've occurred again and again and again and again in the test, okay? So now you're given, guys, you're given that sine C is equal to 0.5. You're given this, okay? And they're asking you the side. Remember earlier, you're given the sides and you asked the sign. Now you're given the sign and they're asking you the sides, okay? Now suppose this side is 10, okay? Now let's see if you can calculate this side. So write down the formula. Sine of C is SOHCAHTOA, right? SOHCAHTOA, right? So what does that mean? opposite over hypotenuse. So let this opposite side, which you don't know, right? You don't know this opposite side, guys. What are you going to write down here? Let's write down some number. Let's call it X. Nice. Likat is the first one who got it right. Awesome. And then followed by Abraham. Great. So you're going to write down opposite over hypotenuse, opposite over hypotenuse. Well done, Queen Lee. Excellent. Opposite over hypotenuse, right? So now you're given that sine C is equal to 0.5, right? So what you're going to do here, you're just going to say, okay, so I know sine C. So I'm just going to take sine C over here. I'm going to write a 0.5 over here, right? Now you know how to solve it, right? If you don't know how to solve this, guys, the linear equation session is coming up very soon, okay? This is how the session looks like, okay? So linear equations is right over here, right? So it's gonna come up very soon. This is the cycle, how we go. You are right over here, okay? Then we're gonna move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. So you can join this session anytime you want, okay? So SOHCAHTOA, right? So this is important. Remember, you're going to have a lot of problems. You might have tan, right? So let's see if you can calculate the tan, right? Okay, so let's say, suppose in this problem, folks, this is given to be 0.5. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of all of this. A totally new problem. Let's see how many of you can do this. Tan of C is equal to 2. Sorry, tan of C is equal to 3. My bad. Okay, tan of C is equal to 3. Remember, TOA, SOHCAHTOA. Well done. Well done. So you don't know this guy. So tan is opposite over adjacent, right? Don't leave it for later to memorize it. Memorize it right now. Memorize this problem right now, guys. Don't think, oh, I'm gonna remember it later. Let me just chill out for now. Let me just see how others are. Memorize the thing right now, right in front of you, right? Because some of you don't have time. Some of you are gonna give the test in 15 days. Okay. Some of you are lucky. You might have some more time. Okay. By the way, if your test is on 15th, right? I'm giving you a special discount. You can immediately join the session, right? And we're going to do some really rapid sessions here. So you're going to be able to see all the 20 hours within that time, okay? You're going to be able to do that. And then if you're going to take the next test, right? So let's say you take the test on August 29, and then you have your test in September, right? Let's say you want to retake the test. You're going to be able to watch these sessions again. You're going to be able to come in here, and there's going to be totally different problems, because I don't have, like, I just make these problems up from my head. I just know what the problems are. So you'll be able to practice it again. It's totally, completely free once you start paying, right? So the $95 is like almost like a lifetime kind of a session. Okay. So you can keep on coming in again and again and again, right? Right, and so this is like a 20-hour kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to send you the link to this. What's going to happen is I'm going to send you the link, and I'm going to send you the course plan right over here. So this is how the course plan looks like, right? It's got the main topics over here. It's a 20-hour course, right? So let's say you did percents, right? One of the days we did percents. Then one of the days some of you guys, your test might get canceled. Thank the heavens for that. So you have the perfect amount of time. You got the perfect kind of a tutor. You got the perfect practice problems. Boom. You just keep working on it. In September, you're going to do it. I know someone. I'm in New York City. I live in New York City. I know someone who's going to Oswego, 3 hours away, right? They're living in New York State. They have to travel 3 hours. They're taking the test. They're still taking the test. Okay. But anyway, coming back. So let's say we do percents and exponents, right? Then I'm going to give you a practice problem, a total test, right? Submit the answers to me. I'm going to give you total feedback on what skills you need to work on, okay? People are doing it very diligently, and they're amazed by their score. They're taking the practice tests after this, right? The College Board tests, and they're amazed by the improvement in their score. Because I've so much years of experience. I know what kind of problems are going to come and how they're going to test you, and where usually students have difficulties, okay? So keep working on it, folks, okay? So keep at it, guys. Okay, so practice. So it's going to be a lesson. Then I'm going to give you the practice problems to solve. And soon there's going to be a video of the test. So I mean, it's going to be a complete video of the test, guys. So it's going to be a timed test for you. So just focusing on those particular important topics, right? And then you just time yourself and do it. So there's going to be so much material. Don't get flooded. I'm just first at the start for the people who have just started. I'm going to give you the practice problems. I'm going to give you the solution. Then I'm going to give you the actual video to solve the problem, so you don't forget what you did like 2 weeks ago. Okay. So after this is over, you're going to go to the next lesson, and then the next test, then the next lesson, and the next test. And within the 20 hours, you're going to be done. Okay. And if you ever miss a lesson, you're going to get the videos anyway, right? But you're also going to be able to watch it again. It usually is within like 2 weeks, you can watch it again. Okay. But you got the video anyway. All right. So that's a huge value, guys. Okay. Remember, this also, I'm going to give you a bonus hack session. Like, there's going to be a 30-minute hack session. If I forget it, please remind me. How to solve problems without even knowing the math. How do you guess if you got a problem? How can you just eliminate 2 or 3 of these choices, and then you're left with just 2 choices, right? And then it's a 50-50 choice, right? Otherwise, if you choose 1, it's like 1 out of 4, right? I'll show you how to quickly eliminate 2 choices. You're left with 2, sometimes even 3, right? Maybe some of you watched my YouTube video about how to solve this. That's why you're here. Some of you are looking at something else. Some of you are from Instagram. Some of you from, right, TikTok or something. Now that's gone, unfortunately. So let's look at this final step. I know it's 9:30, guys. Just give me 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes to work on volumes, okay? Because I've got to advertise my sessions, right? I've got to eat too. I've got to make a living too, guys. I love to teach. That's what I do full time. I do all of these things. And this is one of the best deals you're getting. Otherwise, my sessions are $80 an hour, okay? $80 an hour for one person, okay? But here you're getting $95 for 20 hours plus email correspondence with me. Plus, you're gonna get more stuff. I'll show you how to solve these problems, okay? So it's a total deal, okay? Total steal, okay? So let's look at volumes, okay? 5 minutes, we're gonna finish volumes, maybe 10, okay? 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So let's think about this, guys. You got a cube. What does a cube mean? What does a cube mean? A cube means that all the sides of the square, all the sides are equal, okay? So you've got 2, 2, and 2 over here, right? So the volume, guys, of a cube is always going to be 2 times 2 times 2, okay, if the side is 2, right? So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8.